Well, very good morning. Welcome back to warm Barcelona. It's the second day of the Rolex TP52 World Championship. Yesterday we got no racing, unfortunately, because of the light breezes. There's not insufficient breeze to go racing. Doug, how's it looking today?
Well, it's looking a little bit better. It's still hot, though. It starts with that, but it's looking a little bit better. I think the dome that was over Barcelona is starting to dissipate. We should be able to get some of the sea breeze in. Maybe not all that we want, but enough to go sailing this afternoon, and then the rest of the week looks a lot better.
A little bit tough for you guys. You guys wanted racings yesterday and the day before. You've not had enough racing with your new afterguard.
Well, you want to get as much practice. You want to get out there as much as you can. So we're hoping that we'll be able to get the races in and gel as a team. But it's hard to do when you can't sail. So
exactly.
We need wind.
Exactly. Have a great day, Doug. Thank you very much.
You.
We're going to join Maria now, our principal race officer. She really is in the hot seat, and she's telling us what's going to happen today.
Yeah, the good news is that we might race today. We are expecting a sea breeze coming later on the day, around 3. Not very strong, but up, I would say 8-9 knots, and that's it.
How's it looking for the rest of the week? Everybody's getting quite excited about Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, it's going to be windier from tomorrow, I would say. And we are expecting 12-18 knots. Let's see if it happens.
What's it like for you being here under this pressure with no wind?
I mean, here I am more worried because of the heat. I don't want to have the teams waiting afloat. Then I have more pressure, like I need to call them on the water at the right moment. And that's my pressure.
But you're used to it.
I'm used to the heat, yeah, I am.
And used to the pressure.
And I am used to the pressure as well.
You enjoy it?
Not really. I prefer, a good wind from the morning. We go out, we run 2 races and back.
Perfect. Will do. Anyway, thanks, Maria. Well done.
Thank you.
So that is Maria Torrijos, our principal race officer, staying cool under pressure like Stuart Struley. Stu, we're the lucky guys. We're in the air-conditioned studio. What's your view for the day?
Well, given that I've been in Barcelona exactly 2 days, I don't think I'm the expert on local weather, but I would really love to see this sea breeze come in, at least for a little bit. It'd be great to even get in one race today and just sort of get this regatta underway, give us something to talk about and give people something to think about and give these teams just a chance to burn off some of that energy.
And all the time the pressure building up as we don't go racing, particularly for Quantum. Quantum are the team that need, as Doug was just saying, they need to gel as a unit, as an afterguard.
Yeah, and that's a big test for a 22-year-old helmsman. I mean, you look around this fleet, and there are legends in here who were sailing in the America's Cup before Harry Melgus was born. So, I think that while I have every confidence in his ability and his talent, sitting around and waiting, it can play mind games with the younger sailors. So how that team reacts to this will be quite interesting. It's a very potentially a great growth experience for them.
Indeed.
To see how they can do.
And working with Terry at the coalface, as it were.
Yeah, well, it's always a coal face with Terry on board, I think, no matter what. He is very intense, and he does not... this is very much a zero-sum game for him. It is all in the results. So whether you're 21 or 51 or somewhere in between, he expects nothing but the best.
52.
Thank you, Andy, for the reminder.
Anyway, we also talked to Vasco Vascotto. Vasco's won the Rolex TP52 World Championship before with Azura. He is on Platoon now. Platoon won the King's Cup last month in Minorca. And Vasco's view of this week.
Yeah, I mean, there is all the boats here want the same, so it's not easy. Obviously, the level is so high that we need to keep doing everything very simple. It's just a matter of starts on the line inside and then sail fast. That's the most important thing. We are happy about how we arrive here. We won the last event, so this gives us a lot of good momentum, let's say, and we are looking forward to keep going with this momentum.
What do you expect in the water? How's this race course compared to where we've sailed before?
Right now it's very light. Yeah, the conditions are very, very light and so hot. Maybe from tomorrow the wind should increase a little bit, and maybe we have more wind at the end of the week. Again, the boats are so similar that it's a matter of little details and momentum, happiness, and all these things, So we are looking forward to have nice smile, go in the water in the proper way.
What about having Terry back then? Nice to see him.
That's great. I think that is an extra motivation.
And you're resuming the rivalry of many years.
Sorry?
Resuming the rivalry of many years. He's an important competitor to beat.
Yeah, it's an important competitor to beat. But Quantum Racing is a strong competitor with Terry and without. Obviously, with Terry there is something special because we know each other since 1986, so it's plenty of years of fighting, and it's a good motivation to try to sail even better because with him you cannot make any mistake.
So what about being in the America's Cup venue? I mean, you're an ex-America's Cup sailor. How do you view the America's Cup?
It's
Is it the same sport as you competed in?
No, I think it's exactly what I'm gonna say. It's the name of the sport is the same as sailing. For sure, it's a little different. This boat touch the water, the other are flying. This is one of the most different things. And the other thing is that here you have a competition every month. America's Cup, you need to have a long view. Because that will happen in 1 year. So right now everybody are focused on trying to make the boat faster and faster and faster and faster. So that's the biggest difference. So here we have a little more contact, America's Cup a little less.
What ambitions do you still have in the sport?
I have a lot of ambition because you know what, my memory is so bad and I forgot everything what I did, and I forgot also how old I am. That's another important.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing. What I can see is that there are a new generation of sailors coming in, and I want to prove myself that I'm still good enough in order to sail against these guys.
And I believe you're having a new platoon for next year.
This is what you said, but I'm not sure that it's confirmed, but let's say that we are working on that.
So there you go, Vasco Voscotto talking about his prospects here at this World Championship and also a new platoon in build for next year, Stu.
Sounds exciting. You know, it's always great to see new boats coming in. It's certainly a indication of the strength, of the health, the vitality of a class. And when you have a couple of new boats coming in,
the other one being Allegra, for people who don't already know.
Yeah, sure.
Allegra and build at King Marine. Platoon will build out of the same mould, we understand.
Yeah, which is not too different for the Too Strange for this class, right? A lot of these boats come from similar designs. We don't have too much variance in terms of the designers or the designs in the class.
But the great thing is it's great for the industry and it keeps the congregation growing, as it were.
Yeah, the congregation going, it keeps the technology moving forward, because even though the rule stays the same next year, there are certain things you're changing, certain little tweaks that the sailors and the designers will come up with. They're always evolving the designs, and that sort of that steady pressure, that steady encouragement of advancement is, I think, really is good for the class.
There's still a big demand for boats coming out 52 Super Series. They're in high demand all around the world.
I'm sure they are. I mean, again, you're not asking someone who has the ability is in the market for a used TP52. But if I were looking had the resources and we're looking for a very good race boat, you can't do any better, because you know what you're going to get is going to be supremely optimized, and it's just a great boat to sail, which we talked a lot about yesterday. Just so much fun.
One thing that's going on is we're talking about the sail program. A lot of the teams have brought on new sails here because it's the World Championship, because we're getting towards the end of the season. They want to maximise and optimise their speeds. We talked with Simon Fry, who's the part of the speed team on the Gladiator and very much a man in the know.
I think the fact it's the Worlds means that everyone is trying extra hard for this particular regatta. The caveat would be it's been a pretty light season, and I think people have been developing light weather mainsails, J1s, J1.5s, and probably this season more A1s being measured in. So sub 10 knot sails are de rigueur, especially for today. Maybe not for tomorrow because the breeze will return, but light inventory is key.
Most teams doing roughly the same things, or anybody out in the corner or whatever?
Yeah, I'd say most people are doing the same thing. It's always a balance between luff length on your A1. You want the longest luff length you can run, but you want the mainsail to be deep enough. There's a few little tricks that people are doing to try and maximise the luff length, shortening the tack shackles on the tack line. Most people are in the same corner there.
And has it been pretty much as you expected in terms of the breeze? You say you look at the models before the season and you bring your programme in according to that. Has it been pretty close?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say every team does a wind study before the year and then tries to pitch their inventory or their boat setup or their moding to the venues. Barcelona traditionally is light in at this time of the year because the water is so warm. There's no differential between the water and the land, so the sea breeze is not very active. Hopefully tomorrow the model's looking at 10 to 18 knots, so it could be a different day.
Your evaluation of how the different boats have progressed over the course of the season so far. Who's come up quickly? Who's stayed the same? What's your view?
Well, I think everyone was super impressed with the Rolex boats, how they hit the water with their revised foil package, especially Prevetta. You know, they nailed the first event and are still the boat to beat this year. I think we've ticked along just making very, very small incremental gains. Be interesting to see how Quantum goes this week with Terry back on board. I would say the level of intensity will get raised.
A little?
Definitely. I think it's a pretty open World Championship. I would say 5 boats could win it.
Take us behind the curtain on the Gladiator. How is it with Guiget and Tony and the whole team?
It's a good dynamic. I think Tony has grown into his role of essentially letting Guiget have more and more control of the sailing side. He essentially runs the tactical side. He takes input from the rest of the crew. Guiget is, as you know, one of the most experienced TP drivers out there. Fingers crossed we'll have a good regatta.
Happy team?
Happy team.
Happy team indeed on the Gladiator. 2 podiums so far this season. Stu, we're talking about a light wind season, really. We've only got 1 regatta left in Palma later on in September. But what do we expect next season? We start off in Palma early season in May, but then we're coming to you in Newport. What will we see in June?
Newport, you can get just about anything in this time. Well, in June and July. In June, we definitely tend to get stronger sea breezes. The ocean has really yet to warm up. The Gulf Stream has really yet to sort of impact the waters around there. So there's quite a good, as Simon was mentioning, differential. We get that good sea breeze that comes in, but oftentimes in the summer we get tremendous breeze. And this summer in particular, it's been a little bit cooler maybe than normal, a little bit stormier, but the wind has been outstanding. Really, a lot of good racing and very few days when we've had to postpone or call off racing.
Because of lack of wind or because of too much wind?
Yeah, either, yeah. But it's been right in the sweet spot most of the summer, so there's been a lot of tremendous sailing.
A little bit different to Barcelona.
I would say so, but again, you keep asking me. I've only been here 2 days. I don't want to curse Barcelona. I will leave that for people that have a little more experience with this venue.
They can do that. Anyway, thank you very much, Stu. We'll hopefully at the moment say we're looking to potentially a warning signal at 1500 hours, but it is still very, very light on the water, only 2 or 3 knots. Our race officer Maria is updating us on the teams all the time. In the meantime, let's look at a 26-minute documentary program that we have made. 2 this year as we did last year. Let's have a look at that.
The 52 Super Series is back. 11 teams, up to 50 races, 8 countries, but only 1 champion.
If you want to sail with the best, there is no other choice.
There is no higher level.
This is basically the NBA of sailing.
It is intense.
At that level, there are no other class in the world that you can find.
Now in its 11th year, the 52 Super Series is the world's leading Grand Prix Monohull circuit, one of the highlights of the competitive sailing calendar, attracting the very best sailors from around the world. 5 regattas were scheduled for the 52 Super Series in 2023. And for the first time ever, a regatta was hosted in France, in Saint-Tropez, a destination that many sailors had long campaigned for.
We're absolutely delighted that the fleet are here. There's a lot of interest from the public. We're here in Saint-Tropez with 11 boats, the most we've ever seen. I would like to see more come to places like this, and that may well happen.
Tony Langley has added a new recruit to his team this year in Argentinian ace Guillermo Parada, who's won 4 52 Super Series titles with Azura.
I'd not quite realised how much of a driving force he was for the Azura program. While I'm doing tactics, I'm also getting a masterclass in driving. It's great to see the passion, He really is passionate.
It's nice to be here. I'm enjoying sailing in another team. It's like a new challenge and a new start to be able to play with another team. So I'm enjoying it big time.
Among the 11 teams representing 8 nations was home French team Paprec, who have the newest boat in the fleet.
We have never been here with the TP52 fleet and the Super Series, so it's fantastic to be here in Saint-Tropez. The sun, the wind, what can we complain about?
Newcomers this season are Hong Kong-based Alpha Plus. Being part of the 52 Super Series is a long-held dream of their owners Sean Kang and Tina Yu, who've enlisted the help of seasoned pro Ian Walker.
Sean, he's great. I mean, he wants to be the tactician, so my job was very clear from the outset, which was to try and teach him and bring him on.
That's my dream, to be here. Well, we are here to learn. We needed to bring more experience back to Hong Kong, try to get more people involved, and also try to get the better result. I know it's lots of competition, we'll try to do our best here. Yeah. I will be happy if not always to be the last.
It's all changed for the 2022 defending champions and 5-time overall winners Quantum Racing, rebranded and reconfigured to become Quantum Racing powered by American Magic. This season, Doug DeVos's USA flagged team is focused on bringing in new talent and using the 52 Super Series as a pathway for the America's Cup.
The idea behind American Magic when we started in 2017 was that we would have an America's Cup team that connected with the sailing community in the United States. Well, what if we created, in conjunction with American Magic, an opportunity for younger sailors to be on this platform, to learn from this class, to learn from the amazing team that we've had with Quantum Racing, and be able to build their skills and use that as an example for sailing in our country. So that's what we're trying to do.
Each of the 5 regattas runs a maximum of 10 races, with every race counting towards the end of series rankings. Every race counts, every point counts. Day 1 in the Gulf of Saint-Tropez brought light 6 to 10 knot south-southwesterly breezes and beautiful sunshine. US team Interlodge were one of the first teams to recognise the importance of the right side of the course. They took victory in race 1 and went on to win race 2 as well. A perfect start for Interlodge, who won only 1 race in the whole of last season.
It was quite a wonderful experience to actually win 2 races. It's very hard to win any races, so we were particularly pleased with our performance today. We had a really good strategy in both races. It gives us a feeling of confidence that we're capable of doing very well in races, and we just need to link our performance together.
New to the series, Stephanie Robley debuting as strategist, and she played a key role in Interlodge's successful start.
It was my first time up the rig today to go look at the breeze, so that was pretty fun. We liked the right early on in the day, and then we liked it again for the second race, and kind of things got a little bit more unstable throughout the day, and just kind of try to keep our heads up and stay dynamic on the race course.
Day 2 in Saint-Tropez saw a modest breeze pickup and a return to form for Harm Muller-Spree's platoon team, who won race 3 ahead of Paprec and Gladiator. Many teams were in contention after 3 races, with Interlodge, Preveza and Allegra separated by just 3 points at the top. Race 4 saw Quantum Racing, powered by American Magic's new-look team, pull together to secure their first win of the Super Series. An encouraging result for the US flag team, led by their young strategist and now navigator, Victor Diaz de Leon.
This is the very first time that I do it. It's a big challenge for me. I didn't even own a computer before taking this opportunity, so I bought myself a computer now so I can practice. I'm learning a lot, and it's really a treat to get to sail with such a great team.
Diaz de Leon is one of 4 young talents brought into the team this year.
To be at this level of sailing, I mean, people you see around are amazing, and they've been here for years, and everybody knows everything about these boats, so looking forward to learning everything I can.
Our learning curve is very steep. Obviously the level is super high, and I'm quite new to this big boat sailing, but I've learned a lot and had a lot of fun doing it.
Really, it's just try not to make the same mistake twice as a team and get better every single day. I mean, we have a lot of new people, and so we have stuff that we're still figuring out, but the best way to do it is get on the course and see how we go.
Day 3 in Saint-Tropez was the windiest yet, with a gusty 20-knot breeze. As the course favoured the right, the start became pivotal. Sled was shut out at the start of race 5, but made a miraculous comeback. They led as the fleet approached the first mark ahead of Preveza, As the race went on, Preveza, Quantum, powered by American Magic, and Sled jostled for the top 3 spots. Eventually, Sled sealed the win, coming in first, Preveza second, and Quantum, powered by American Magic, in third. In race 6, it looked like Sled were about to make a charge up the leaderboard with a repeat performance. But the American team undershot the top mark and sailed themselves to a standstill. The fleet piled round ahead of them, leaving them stationary and in danger of hitting the mark. They dropped to 11th. The 52 Super Series is a tough competition. Quantum Racing, powered by American Magic, took their second win of the regatta. Allegre finished second, with Gladiator third. So after 6 races, the leaderboard was tight at the top. Preveza led, but had yet to win a single race.
We made some changes this winter. We got a new keel designed by the Rolex team. The boat is doing very well. Leading the regatta, it's a good feeling. I think the difference with the other boats right now, which is only 1 point, by the way, it's we've been very, very consistent in the starts. That is giving us plenty of options.
You know, it's hectic on the start line, and obviously on a race course like this as well, when the rides seem to be very powerful, you need to get out there, and which makes it a bit tough on the start, but yeah, we managed to get back in it in the first race.
There was insufficient wind on the penultimate day of the regatta in Saint-Tropez, so it all went down to Sunday, the final day. A 7th place from Preveza and a 5th from Quantum Racing, powered by American Magic, in race 7, left both teams tied at the top of the leaderboard on 32 points. It all came down to the final race. And in that final race 8, Gladiator was strong off the start, as were Preveza. Quantum Racing, powered by American Magic, struggled. Gladiator held the lead all the way round the course and finally secured their first win of the season. Preveza held off nearest regatta challengers Quantum to finish in 2nd place and win the Saint-Tropez 52 Super Series without a single race victory.
We were not expecting to perform that well in this first event. There's a lot of new things in the team, new sail designer, new team members, changes to the boat. So we were approaching this like just to learn where we were. Honestly, we felt very, very strong in these light wind conditions. We were performing very, very well.
Very happy to be second overall, tied to Quantum, and third on comeback. I'm very happy also to have Preveza and Cole winning. So I'm sure it's a good week for the family.
Yes, we are very pleased against each other's performance during the week. We are really happy on Preveza, how things are going. We have a new team and we are looking forward for the season.
Next stop on the 52 Super Series Tour was Scarlino, Tuscany, making its appearance for the 4th time. Preveza led the series by 6 points after one event and came into Scarlino as favourites.
Honestly, we felt like we have a good package right now. To get the most out of it, as we did in Saint-Tropez, we could be up there.
Behind Preveza in the standings, both Quantum Racing, powered by American Magic, and Gladiator were tied on 40 points.
It's not changing a lot, it's just a confidence boost, and like an indication that whatever we are doing different this year, it's slowly working. So it's encouraging, but we need to continue day by day and making sure we are making small progresses every day.
Moving into Scarlino, this event really worked on getting the pre-race routine solid and the pre-start really solid, and trying to get the launch off the line really good.
Harry Melges is just 21 and the youngest member of a sailing dynasty. Sadly, his grandfather, widely regarded as one of the greatest sailors of all time, recently passed away.
My grandfather, Buddy, was really my hero growing up and still is my hero. Obviously pretty tough with him passing this last week, but it's definitely very inspiring for me, and gonna continue to try to carry on his legacy and his name.
More crew changes for Quantum Racing, powered by American Magic, with Peter Cowell stepping in for John Kostecki.
This week's been a big step up for me. I came here as shore crew and I've had to step in as race crew because we've got an injury on board. So I'm fulfilling the role of navigator, and it's going really well so far. Got really good working relationship with Victor, the tactician, and the other guys on the crew are being super supportive. This is a big step up for me.
Race 1 saw 6 to 9 knots and flat water, and Platoon and Allegre made great starts, half the battle in these tight races. Vayu gained out to the right and led at the first top mark. Platoon and Allegre nailed their ley lines into the first mark, but ended up too close to the windward mark. They incurred expensive penalties, which allowed Sled to eke out a good advantage downwind and win the race. Paprec was second with Vayu behind in third. Phoenix came in fourth, making up for a disappointing start in Saint-Tropez.
We knew bringing Santi in, coming from Argentina, the communication was going to be probably our biggest hurdle. Race by race, we're already seeing huge improvements, so I think we got something good coming.
You know, after a day like today, it's been tough, and you can see it's the passion's there. You know, sometimes it doesn't always go our way, but we'll always come back.
With the breeze building as the day went on, Race 2 saw Phoenix burst out the gate with Quantum Racing powered by American Magic hot on their heels. Quantum stayed out to the right on the downwind run, being able to find more wind pressure to edge past Phoenix. Winners in Saint-Tropez Preveza continued their consistent run of form. They gained several places to finish second behind Quantum.
Yeah, today we were missing our tactician, John. That made it very challenging for us, and how to have Peter, our electronics guy, fill in the navigating spot, and he did a great job. Sean Clarkson helped with strategy, and I stepped on John's shoes as a tactician. The guys did a great job getting the boat fast around the course, and Harry got us out of some tough spots that I put us on.
We had a very, very good first race, and the second race we had a tough start, but coming out to the water with 1 and 5 is a super day, so we are very happy about it.
The middle of the 52 Super Series week in Scarlino saw family-owned Thai boat Vayu find their seam of form. Race 4 and Alpha Plus were first off the line, but Vayu were able to capitalise with an early jibe as the breeze died on the right of the run. This allowed them to sail on to win their first race this season.
Yeah, it was huge. Just to get our first win in the season is huge. Yeah, no, really stoked about it, and we've had our ups and downs, but the first place in that last race was really awesome. Shows that we can do it.
It's the second race they've ever won. It's the first time I've won a race with them. So yeah, I was really pleased.
Sled led the standings going into race 5. Vayu had a superb start to the race and opened a strong lead after the first mark. The Vayu team looked like they would take 2 wins in a row. They made the call to jibe early, but Quantum held their nerve a little longer, pipping Vayu over the line in a photo finish.
Disappointing, it was still a good race. Yeah, we just lost it at the finish, but it was very close. Quantum caught up, and it was, neck and neck on the finish, but they just got us on the line.
Despite a 5th place finish, Sled still held the lead in the 52 Super Series Scarlino Regatta standings, with Vayu in second by just 3 points.
Of course, we're happy we're leading. We're just going day by day, race after race. We're not thinking of what happened and just focusing on what comes.
It all came down to the last day in Scarlino, with Quantum Racing powered by American Magic leading Vayu by 2 points. Second place Vayu, who were going for their first ever podium finish, had a healthy 7-point lead over Preveza. Disappointment for Vayu though, a poor start in race 9 put them out of the running. Gladiator took an early lead with Preveza chasing. Regatta leaders Quantum had an incident with Allegre, dropping them down to 8th as a result. Preveza finished first, having taken the lead from Gladiator. Interlodge was second and Gladiator ended up in third. After 9 races, Quantum Racing, powered by American Magic, continued to lead in Scarlino, and Preveza moved up the leaderboard to second with 1 race to go. There was just 1 point separating them at the top. Vayu were back in third, still working to secure a podium finish on the 52 Super Series for the first time. To race 10, and only 3 points separate the top 3, Quantum, Preveza and Vayu. With the pressure on, Vayu struggled, starting early and sliding down the fleet. Platoon had the best start, with Gladiator and Quantum nipping at their heels. Platoon held the lead and hung on for the win. With Quantum and Vayu dropping down the placings, a 4th place finish for Preveza was enough for them to win the Scarlino Regatta. Quantum finished in 6th, dropping them down to 2nd by just a single point. Despite an 8th in the final race, Vayu still achieved their dream of a maiden podium finish on the 52 Super Series.
Yeah, it's been a couple of hard years, a lot of training, a lot of thinking about how we're going to do the sail setup. We're super elated that we're podiuming for the first time in Super Series, so super happy with the results.
Quantum Racing, powered by American Magic, may have missed out on the top spot, but it was still an impressive start to the 2023 Super Series for the new look team.
A little disappointed that we couldn't make it happen in the last race, but overall we're really happy with our progress we've made. We've done a lot better with our starts this event, and we're really looking forward to the next event in Monohull.
2 regatta wins from 2 for Preveza, a dream start to the 2023 series.
I never won in Scalino. It's a great place. You saw today it was a miracle needed that we could win this regatta, and exactly that miracle happened when we won the first race.
It's been a testing week. I was feeling pretty down after the last race yesterday, and we managed to go out there and just sail 2 good races, and then it came down to the wire. Just had a good day. It was our turn.
The third stop was the sunny Spanish island of Minorca, the 5th time there for the Super Series Tour. 9 teams lined up to compete in the Royal Cup, one of the most prestigious events in the yachting calendar.
Yeah, I do. I like it. It's a great place. It's a challenging place to sail, but it's a beautiful place to visit. It's quite a bit of current too, and it varies. It's wind-driven current, and and the breeze is shifting around quite a bit.
So the Preveza team, led by Kiwi helm John Cutler, held a 7-point margin at the top of the 2023 overall standings after 2 events, ahead of Doug DeVos's Quantum Racing powered by American Magic. Harm Müller-Sprier's German-flagged platoon were 3rd, but 20 points behind. Ergin Imre's Preveza were bidding to make it 3 back-to-back Super Series wins this year, while double world champions German-flagged Platoon hoped to extend their record of winning in Monohull to 3 consecutive years. Day 1 brought challenging conditions. An oscillating breeze and a nasty, short, bouncy chop made it very difficult to sail consistently fast. Circuit leaders Preveza led race 1 at the top mark from Platoon. Both Quantum and Gladiator were given penalties due to a very low speed, very overlapped first mark rounding. Platoon then took the advantage up the second beat, and the German flag team went on to take the win. Quantum Racing, powered by American Magic, ended up finishing in 6th, not helping their quest to climb the leaderboard. In race 2, Sled made a strong start. The 2021 champions were only just ahead of Allegre until the final run to the finish. The crew managed to open more distance to take a comfortable victory. Platoon made good progress and finished in 3rd. It was a brilliant opening day for Harm Müller-Sprier's team with a 1st and a 3rd.
We had a really good day, but it was so tricky, especially to drive the boat fast upwind was horrible today. This race course is really open. It's a little bit compression and close to the starting line, a little bit less wind. Outside it's a little bit more. It's very patchy, but I mean it's could be totally different tomorrow.
After a disappointing 8th and a 9th on the opening day, Tony Langley's Gladiator were keen to put things right on day 2. Race 3 saw 9 to 10 knots northeasterly, and Gladiator secured a lead off the line, chased hard by Regatta leaders Platoon. In the end, the British flag team extended down the second run and won comfortably. Platoon came 2nd and strengthened their grip on the Monohull Regatta leaderboard. Race 4 and the breeze was dropping. Alpha Plus found some joy on the left side of the course, but Gladiator, living up to its namesake, rising to the challenge to take the lead as they hugged the right. They extended their advantage, finishing the day with a remarkable 2 first places. Preveza managed to steal the 2nd place from Allegre. Alpha Plus, who'd had that commanding start, slipped back and ended up 4th. But really, the day was all about Gladiator.
We had a plan, we executed the plan, and we got the result.
So we decided to stick to the right and be the first boat on board. We did that on both races. In the first one, we were leading at the top mark. Second one, we were 2nd, but we were still patient. When we had an opportunity, we jumped on it, and it paid off.
Encouraging results from Alpha Plus, with 2 4th places from 4 races.
The learning curve has been pretty steep. Coming into a fleet like this with so many good boats and so many top sailors, feel like we're starting to get our mojo as a crew.
yeah, so I was really happy with the progress.
Day 4 brought change to the top of the leaderboard. Going into race 7, Preveza were top, followed by Sled and Platoon, all within a single point of each other. A lack of wind meant that race was held off the south of the island to capitalise on a 12 to 14 knot breeze. It looked like Sled had a win in the bag, which would have put them into the lead. But a shut-off in wind meant they drifted into the finishing buoy, and by the time they'd served the penalty, they were back down to 8th. A similar fate awaited Allegre, who dropped from 2nd to 7th after fouling Preveza. This left Platoon to swoop in to take the advantage, sliding through to win race 7. Race 8 saw Platoon take the lead at the top mark and stretch to a comfortable margin by the time they crossed the finish line. Paprec followed in 2nd, Preveza 3rd. After 8 races from 10, Platoon were flying with 2 wins on the bounce, moving them up to 1st in Monohull. Preveza were up to 2nd and Gladiator 3rd. Sled, who came so close yet fell so far, dropped down to 5th.
First time that we cross first and finish 8th, so pretty frustrated for what happened, but the only thing we can do is keep sailing well.
Yeah, but the difference to be here or 0 is this. Yesterday we have a bad day, today everything was on our side. We are happy for the last regattas, okay? That's for sure.
It came down to the final day, with Platoon and Preveza going head-to-head with just 2 points separating them. Could Platoon stop Preveza getting the regatta hat-trick? Race 9 saw Sled win the start, leading Preveza, Allegre and Platoon in a breakaway group. Allegre inched out on the 2nd beat and crossed the line in 1st. Preveza was 2nd, Sled 3rd and Platoon 4th. It couldn't have been tighter. Platoon and Preveza were now tied on points going into the final race. Winner takes it all. Gladiator had a great start in the finale, but mid-race the breeze dropped and shuffled the pack, allowing Quantum to take the lead. It didn't look good for regatta leaders Platoon, but they made a key tactical decision, chose to round the right-hand gate mark and then push out to the right. A brilliant call. With Preveza behind them, it was enough for Platoon to win the Minorca Regatta and the Royal Cup. It had been another incredibly tight week in the world of the 52 Super Series. Gladiator had a surge of excellence, but a poor start to the week ended their chances. Preveza narrowly missed out on the regatta hat-trick. They finished 2nd, just 1 point behind Platoon.
And it's a very important day for me. 2 months ago, I lost my father, so that's a very important regatta for me. It's a very emotional regattas, and I think that he helped me a lot today. He pushed the boat. We sailed today with a lot of personality. We make some tough decisions, you know. We went on the opposite mark. We trust that the wind can come back. It was a good regatta for us, and again, for me, it's so emotional today, so it's very good.
Oh, we are having a great season with 2 regatta wins and 1 second. We are extremely happy.
Preveza headed to the next event, the Rolex TP52 World Championship in Barcelona, carrying a circuit lead of 19 points over Platoon. Defending champions Quantum Racing, powered by American Magic, finished 7th and dropped down to 3rd in the overall standings, overtaken by Platoon. Sled held on to 4th, and Gladiator gained 2 places after a strong week for them, finishing in 5th. What a thrilling competition the 52 Super Series has been so far. Just 2 events to go, both in Spanish waters, and impossible to split the top of the leaderboard. Barcelona next, as the 52 Super Series hits the mainland.
Well, welcome back to Barcelona.
Yes, we've talked to some people who do this for a living, and I think sailors in general always seem to have a little bit sharper focus on the weather than most people, and there seems to be a complete consensus that tomorrow we'll have better conditions and saleable conditions.
Saleable conditions. I mean, we'll find out in the next few hours what Maria's plans are for tomorrow. But the general chat was to try and do a 3-race day, get ourselves back on schedule as much as we can. Certainly, the chat is 12 to 15 knots by Saturday, and the sea breeze coming in, and hopefully this humidity decreasing, and we should get some racing. But disappointing then today. One of the things which has been going on in the meantime is obviously our sustainability programs keep rolling through the season. It's a big part of our DNA in the 52 Super Series, and we had an underwater beach cleanup going on. We have been not racing, as it were. This is the local diving club have been helping out doing this underwater beach cleanup. It's one of the initiatives that we're following more and more at as many different venues as possible. In this case, they went further up the beach. This is, I say, one of our local diving clubs who volunteered to help out, and we did the same in Minorca. And the big problem here is we have various different sanitary products and things get washed into the beaches. Of course, this is a big city beach with many tourists on it, which in itself brings its own problems. But these guys were down and looking at what there is, and they explained to us just how dirty the water does get, particularly when it rains. The overflows bring a whole pile of different kinds of effluent into the water, a problem that we seem to have increasingly around Europe in particular.
Not just specific to
in
Europe.
yeah.
You know, we in Newport we often have beaches closing day after big storms, just because the drainage systems can't handle that much water coming in. So I think it's a common problem anywhere there's a lot of runoff and a lot of people. You're going to have that issue.
I mean, I think one of the key issues that are common more and more is that people don't seem to be taking care of taking their litter home. It seems to be a big problem on the beach here in particular, and it does seem to be a problem. I don't know whether you agree, but it seems to be the younger generation now. There's certainly, from my perspective, seems to be a bit of a split in the younger people. Some people don't seem to care at all. The other thing is we have our ambassadors meeting. We have a team member from each of the teams represents the sustainable side of the teams, and they really communicate with the teams. And one of the initiatives we're bringing in for next year is limiting the fuel used by the ribs.
Yeah, it's one of the sort of conundrums with sailing is the sport itself is very clean, especially at this level where you have limited. There's no sort of assisted power for any of the winches or anything like that, but the ribs do chew through quite a bit of gas. So
that's right. And one of the things happening with the Cup, of course, is they're all going on to hydrogen-powered and electric-powered support vessels, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's a great innovation. Team New Zealand's built this hydrogen-powered foiling chase boat, and we will see how that works out. But I think with a key role that the Cup and can play is with innovation, and it has the resources to go and do something that might not be financially feasible as a startup right off the bat. They can invest
hopefully
in
there's
that.
a trickle down.
Yeah, they can invest in that and prove its viability, and also get the technology good enough that it becomes more financially responsible.
The other thing which was going on this morning was they had our class owners meeting in the marina here, and we spoke with Doug DeVos as he came out. He gave us his perspective on the class and the seasons into the future. Say next year we're going to the USA, but Doug was looking ahead as the owners have been into 2025 and the future, and this is Doug.
Well, it's always fun to get together with the owners and kind of talk through a few things. We all have a lot of different opinions, but for the most part, we have a lot of similar opinions. Everyone is having a great time in this class. A lot of good insights on what we can do to improve. How do we get better? But I think there's a lot of enthusiasm going into 2024. You're seeing a couple new boats getting built, and you're seeing the momentum of the class. I think going back to the United States is going to be a fun adventure for us, connecting with some other boats maybe along the way as we can do some of the flexibility over there with New York Yacht Club. So I think we're getting good momentum, and we're spending time talking about 2025, what that schedule can look like as we go forward. So it's good stuff.
Give us a little bit of an insight into that. Where do you see the series going?
Well, location-wise, so I think the series continues to stay very, very strong. That's the main idea behind it, is that you have a group of really committed owners and wonderful teams that have been with us, been with the Super Series a long time, and want to see it continue. And we're attracting new ones as well, who are becoming as enthusiastic as the rest of us. And so I think that bodes very well. So as you look at 2025, probably come back into a season in Europe. We'll try to figure out where that is, how much we expand, maybe go into the east a little bit. But right now it's very preliminary, and to start to think about a few of those things, what owners' interests are, and where we can go and have some great racing.
What about for you? It must be tough to be here and not be able to sit in your own boat and go racing.
Yeah, that's tough. It's one thing, you make a decision years ago or a while ago of saying, okay, here's what we're going to do with the platform, and then you watch it go out and you're not on the boat. It's like, wow, I don't know, I didn't exactly plan for that, but you're committed to the strategy and what's going on, and kind of moving with them and watching what they do. They've had a couple really good regattas. It's fun to see. They had a tough regatta, and so hopefully we can bounce back here and see the team continue to gel. That's what we're trying to do. We want to see the team continue to gel, improve their performance, and at this incredible high level of international competition, and that's what we need to do to enhance our sport in the United States.
So Doug DeVos, the president of the class, looking towards the future, talking about 2025, the possibility perhaps of going to the east. Obviously, Stu, we've got 2 boats from Asia. There's a big congregation of boats. There are 12 boats racing in Australia. I believe they're building new boats for Australia. The Super Series can go truly international again.
Be great to see, and the enthusiasm that Doug spoke about with the owners. I mean, that's really what drives a circuit like this. If you have owners that are enjoying themselves and are really getting a return on their investment, then the series can keep going. And definitely, the boats continue to develop. They continue to be at the leading edge of the sport, and people continue to have fun with it. So wherever that the sport that takes the circuit is great to see. Whether it's to Asia or obviously the U.S. next year, back here in Europe, different ports. It's all tremendous.
Indeed. Anyway, that's all we have for you. Unfortunately, no racing today, but do join us tomorrow. We'll have hopefully a full programme, perhaps up to 3 races, but fingers crossed we go racing tomorrow. See you then.